So I was going to make a different video today. I was, funny enough, going to just, make another video about... I'm hesitant to say relationship advice because I had a bunch of yapping interspersed with actual helpful scientific-backed comments. I'm a kissless virgin, so I'm not in much of a position to give advice from... Well, I have advice from bad experience. But anyway, and so yeah, but I felt like making a video about this partly for just transparency problems. I hope that I'm not violating anybody's privacy. I don't want to name names or anything, but at the same time, more than being somebody who respects privacy, I think that it's important for me to be somebody who's transparent. I try not to ask anything of anybody and that I myself wouldn't be willing to do. And, one of the things when you're talking to a woman that you find yourself worrying about most often, and I guess this is I can't really blame anybody if it's, not quite in a relationship yet, but, you just wonder how many guys are there, I really would hate to be, I get really anxious thinking that somebody that I'm with might be somebody that's stringing a bunch of guys along. And so I myself, I try very hard to be somebody who doesn't string a bunch of women along. And I try my best to give reassurance that this is not the case by being transparent. So, for anybody who is not regularly watching my videos, which is probably everybody, but who knows, about 3 months ago, I have a friend who's, kind of lesbian cosplayer friend. Say she's a lesbian cosplayer, but she's kind of one of those people who's, she's kind of figuring her stuff out, and it seems like she ping-pongs back and forth. She is attracted to guys sometimes. But anyway, after an event with a Discord server, I heard she called me a stalker. However, I didn't hear this from her directly. Somebody else said that I was a stalker. And she kind of just suddenly, 3 months after the fact, after just totally, completely avoiding her, he just kind of suddenly started talking to me again. And then she said, I never wanted to tell you were a stalker. Somebody else said that, blah, blah, blah. She's, asking for, my phone number and stuff. She asked me what my zodiac sign was. And just, asking me why I'm not coming over and talking to her as much as I used to. And, it kind of makes me, it makes me pretty anxious. I don't know how I am or should deal with this. And I guess, it's one of the reasons why I wish I wasn't an incel is, yes, these problems do occur in relationships, but I just feel like there's more ready answers and sort of ready things to go through. I feel very strongly that I don't want to be going after more than one person at a time. I can't really do a whole lot about it if somebody's going after me. Well, I do as much as I can about it. I try really hard to discourage that sort of thing, and that's part of the reason why I really don't like posting photos of myself anywhere, because, I don't want to encourage that, that sort of attention as much as possible. Like I said, there's not a lot you can do about it. And I know women, people will just put any comments in any women. I hope you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, if I was in a real confirmed relationship right now, I feel like I could just say, I don't need to worry about what I'm going to do with this lesbian cosplayer because I have a girlfriend. And I can also have somebody, my girlfriend, that I can talk to this about and be like, well, hey, Miss Lesbian Cosplayer, my girlfriend doesn't really like me talking to you, so, yeah, okay. And I know I said that I only go after one person at a time, and I do, and I'm sticking with that, and I'm not going to, pursue this, but, I guess it's just... Right now, I'm uncertain how far into the future I'm going to be able to continue pursuing this one particular person. And then there's the big question of, well, what am I going to do after that? And just a mortal question of what counts as pursuing more than one person. lesbian cosplayer, regardless of what she herself is thinking, really feels like an option that is open right now, and I hate that. I hate feeling like I'm having a bunch of options open, and I've tried to tell her. I mean, I have told her that, hey, I feel really strongly about only going after one person at a time, and I've already, kind of have this one person that I'm interested in. But I'm just paranoid. I just freak out, and the only way for me to stop freaking out is to kind of do something to address the problem. So I did really like this girl, and I thought that she thought that I was stalking her. And now 3 months later, I guess that's not the case. I have no idea what she's thinking or feeling. And it's a stressful situation, and I don't really know how to go about this without doing something that I feel like wouldn't be okay. And beyond that, I'm also just kind of worried about her, and to what extent I can trust her, and what extent I even should be letting her back into my life at all. Because I just feel damn vulnerable, and that's more than anything why I hate being single, because I'm damn vulnerable all the time. I just wish that I knew I had a safe person that wasn't gonna pull shit on me. Or at least that I knew what kind of shit that I could expect to be pulled on me, but honestly, I'm not really sure that you ever can know that sort of thing. I just want to trust people so badly. I feel like you can't have any sort of good relationship with anybody without trust, but it's just, it sucks. It sucks a lot of the time. And, just without, like really established relationships, you're just kind of trusting people that you don't know all that well, and it's hard, and it's not ideal. It might be nothing. She herself tells me all the time that I overthink things, and that I think that people are expressing interest in me when they aren't at all. She's pretty flirty, but it's just, I'd rather make a big deal out of nothing than make nothing out of a big deal, Like, I can't, I'm not doing anything morally wrong if I'm freaking out, but I feel like I'm doing something morally wrong if I'm not being transparent, and if I'm, I do feel kind of bad for, yelling out people's business in the town square, but this is also 25 people max are gonna see this. I hope I'm not jinxing myself. But yeah, I just don't feel comfortable expressing myself in ways other than YouTube videos, and I don't. I just want to get stuff out there, Thank you.